Hey everyone, it's your old pal Colin here. Let's get straight into it. No faffing about, no fluff. This is a beer review. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I like a drink. I'm not a big drinker though. I drink at the weekends and I love a beer. Like most people in the UK, the majority of Brits, I work during the week, although some people would say a lot of people Brits don't do that. But I do. And at the end of the hard working week, if I'm not doing a Giggle Chat comedy night, I like to have a little drink to celebrate the end or celebrate the weekend. And I'm not like a beer swilling lager out or anything like that. I used to be, but as my palate has grown, I've started to become what's known as a hipster, I guess, although I haven't got the hair for that. But I love IPAs and the pale ales and that kind of stuff. So I thought, why not on a Saturday afternoon have a few drinks and you guys can come and learn a little bit more about me as I make my way through some delicious Tiny Rebel beers, one of my favourite breweries, based out of Newport down in Cardiff. Again, tenuous link. I've got a Cardiff video from when me and Jem went to watch Stereophonics. Don't know why I keep doing that. They're not behind me. They're on there somewhere. So yeah, I wanted to give you just a little taste. Well, I'll be doing the tasting. But yeah, a little bit of a beer history tasting session. And then you can see if you want to fancy trying something different, then give it a go. Plus, it's content, and content is king while you're trying to build your channel. And because I'm a naturally witty person, as things are progressing, I might say something funny every now and then. You might be able to see, well, you can see that poster there. That's from my Edinburgh show called 2012, which I done at the 2018 Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And it was all about how my life went completely tits up in 2012. And I kind of turned it around over the preceding years. But I don't know why I'm plugging that. You can't see it now. It was bloody 7 years ago. It's actually this time 7 years ago. It was in the old Edinburgh Fringe. And that's a poster featuring Scott Bennett, who's fantastic. And then we've got Lou Sanders, Dan Nightingale. Anyway, it's not about that. So, yes, I'm not a big beer swilling lager lout. I like IPAs. IPA, a little bit of origin from what I can remember, stands for India Pale Ale, which is traditionally, it was like an old style British drink. So I'm there's two different ways to get beer. Well, fresh beer anyway, not candle bottles. It's cask or keg. Cask is what the old hand pull was that Betty Turpin used to do in between serving up hot pot to Ken and Deirdre. Or there's the keg ones, which I prefer, which are the ones off the little tap. They're the colder and the carbonated ones, which I prefer. So so India Pale Ale was traditionally the old style, like Green King IPA. You can still get quite not bitty, bloody hell, quite bitter and dark beers, which I'm not always into. I don't mind at a certain time, but on a nice summer day, I like a nice IPA, a nice fruity IPA. So over the years, those kind of beers disappeared a little bit, but America brought them back. I didn't realise this, but America is really big on beer. I had no idea, because it's so vast. Every state, almost every city has its own breweries, but that's for another vlog, because I don't know all those details. So anyway, let's crack on with the beer. The first one I've got from Tiny Rebel is this beautiful slip and slide, juicy pale ale. Now, these are the kind of things that I'm into. So we'll have a look. I'm going to crack this little baby open. So I got these. I got a £50 voucher from work for my birthday, bosh, last week. And I thought, nothing better than Tiny Rebel beers. Well, having said that, it was a Tiny Rebel voucher, so I didn't have any choice. But just so happened to be my favourite, and my boss knew that. So you can see straight away that it's not your typical beer. So when you see people in beer gardens drinking these poncy, funny coloured drinks, juicy pale ales or IPAs, this is the kind of thing that it is. So this is made of Citra and Mosaic hops. So the hops is where all the flavour comes from. I didn't realise when I was just like a lager lout that there's different ways to brew beer. I just thought it's just lager. It's got a different label on it and it gets you drunk. But these are made with Citra and Mosaic hops. I think they mainly come from America. So Citra hops, as you'd imagine, they're citrusy, so they're like lemony, orangey type flavours. And when you roast them, and they're mixed with Mosaic hops. So Mosaic, like the tropical flavours. It's amazing when you think about it, because it's just a little bud. But the way that you roast them, or the way that you boil them and mash them up, it releases different types of flavours. So this one is, it's Citra and Mosaic hops. It's 4.8%. So that's possibly what they would call a session beer, because it's relatively low in alcohol, but 4.8 is still fairly strong. And it'll pack a bit of a punch. I remember I was in Chicago, a couple of years ago. I've been to Chicago a few times. Not bragging or anything, I go there for my job. and there's this place called AJ Hudson's. It's a mad place because it says like it's advertised itself as the Liverpool Supporters Club, but only does that when Liverpool are playing on the telly. It's also a West Ham support. It's basically whoever's playing that weekend on the telly, then that's the Supporters Club. But anyway, that's a different story. But so what I was trying to say there was, you'll find if you stick to the end of this video, God bless you, you'll find I go off on tangents, and sometimes what I'm saying doesn't make any sense because I don't bring it back, which is why I don't do stand-up anymore, because I kept forgetting where I was. Anyway, yeah, so I said to this woman, I fancied, it was 10 o'clock in the morning, Liverpool were playing Man United. It was 2020, the year we won the league, pre-COVID, obviously. And I said, have you got, what's your week of beers? She said, oh, we've got some of them, they start from like 6 or 7%. People like to have them with their breakfast. I was like, what? Anyway, let's crack on and taste the beer, Slip and Slide by Tiny Rebel. Straight away, you can smell the aromas. You can smell it's juicy and it's tropical. I sound like such a ponce tonight. I'm not really like that at all. I like what I like, but on a nice warm day, it's one of those muggy days today. It's sticky. It's sticky. You can't beat a nice cold beer, can you, anyway? I look like such a ponce. But yeah, it has like a bitter aftertaste as it goes down, but that's unlike it's like the grapefruit and like the lemon and stuff like that. But it smells amazing. When you first taste it, it just gives you like a nice fresh hit. So again, sound like such a but yeah, kind of fills your mouth. It fills your mouth, obviously, because you're putting it in your mouth, aren't you? So what else would it bloody fill? I'm not sticking it up my bum, am I? But yeah, it's very nice, that. So these are the kind of things that I enjoy. A lot of people, they're not for everybody. Some people just prefer a good old-fashioned lager. Like my mate's drink Madri, which I'll let you into a little secret about this. You may or may not know it, but Carling is, I think, widely regarded as probably one of the worst lagers going. It's just generic, full of chemicals, full of all the worst things for you. So Carling used to be about 4.85% until a few years ago when they, for some reason, I don't know whether it's to do with like cutting costs because of Brexit and all that. That's another vlog. Brexit, what a stupid idea that was. Yeah, so they lower the alcohol level because you pay more tax as well, actually, when you get to a certain level, but probably not with Carling. But yeah, they bring so Carling you get now is about 3.8, maybe 4%. So Madri is the original Carling because it's a bit stronger. They put more hops in it to make it a bit darker. So when you're paying an extra £1 for a pint of Madri, you're basically paying for just like a less watery Carling. So, you know, end of the day, you do you in it. I wouldn't drink it. It's rank. So that is beautiful. What I'm not going to do, though, is film this and make you watch the whole deal. Watch me drink the whole thing, because that would be proper boring, as if this video is not boring enough. So, and I'm also not going to down it in one, because I'll be on my arse. I'm going to a party later on. So yeah, I'm going to finish this. You crack on with whatever you're doing, and I'll be back momentarily. Boom. I'm back. So I finished off the Slip and Slide Tiny Rebel beer, which was very, very nice, very enjoyable. Crushable is the term that those hipsters call it. So the next one, again, Tiny Rebel, well, they're all Tiny Rebel beers, I did say that on, is Ready Steady Mango, which is a mango beer. So this one's got the Mosaic and Citra hops with the addition of Simcoe hops. They're kind of earthy and piney. So sometimes if you get these kind of beers, it's always nice, it's always good to have a little smell of them first of all. It looks a bit poncy. People might think, what are you doing? Especially if it's just in your local Wetherspoons, who don't sell good stuff anyway. Again, that's another video similar to Brexit. I've also got some on reform. So I don't know where, I mean, if you look at me, right, you look at me now, you think he probably votes the Green Party. You look at that, you think he probably votes for Labour. You look at that, you think he definitely votes for reform. I can tell you, I do not vote for reform. Well, it's not a politics channel, is it? Anyway, yeah, so Simcoe hops, they've got like a nice piney, earthy smell to them. And what they do with these type of beers, like the mango, the fruity flavoured beers, sometimes with like the tropical ones, the flavour comes from the hops and the way that they're kind of brewed and roasted and whatever else. But these ones, they actually add, sometimes they use flavour in syrups and stuff like that. Hopefully, I don't know, it doesn't actually say what they do with this one. Sometimes they actually put fresh fruit into it. So this is a mango flavoured one. Sometimes these can be a little bit overbearing. I did have a beer stall a few years ago, over on Widnes Market. I was pointing that way. So there you go. Videos are behind me. Widnes is in front of me. And some of them can be a bit much. They're a bit thick. Actually, this one looks okay. There's sometimes they're just like, it looks like a smoothie. And this one says on the can, it tastes like it's like a smoothie with alcohol in it. But it looks okay. I said sometimes they can be a bit dense, these ones, and a bit thick. Oh, full-bodied, I did say. But oh, you can definitely, well, you can smell, it doesn't smell so mango-ish, really. Well, maybe it does, yeah. This one's 5%, so slightly stronger. So not classed as a session beer, I wouldn't have thought. So let's see. Oh yeah, that is a belter. The first one, Slip and Slide, was great. This one though, now you're getting like an earthy aftertaste, which would be the Simcoe hops. But yeah, so Ready Steady Mango Tiny Rebel is brilliant. I've just been I'm using my gimbal, which I don't use very often because I don't really know how to use it. But if you could, in fact, let me see if you can hear him.
Don't forget to get up Facebook group. Loads of interaction on there. Myself, Neil, Jordan, Rob, we're all on there talking to you guys. Ideas for video.
Yeah, that's my old pal Yorkshire Lee, who, if you're not onto him by now, then get onto him because his videos are brilliant. He's such a nice lad as well. His mates are all great. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So yes, this is Ready Steady Mango by Tiny Rebel, and it's very nice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Going to a 60th birthday party in my local society, which is where I also have a comedy night. So if you're watching this video and you live in the Runcorn, Halton, Widnes area, then if you've not been to the bar, if you like your beer and you like your comedy, then come to Society Limited on Ashford Street in Runcorn, because you can get both. You get amazing comedy on the first Saturday of every month and cracking beer. So yeah, just put in the comment section below, my comment section, what kind of beer you're into. Have you tried Tiny Rebel before? Have you tried the Ready Steady Mango? And if you have, let me know what you think and let me know what else you like to drink as well. There's loads of different breweries. Unfortunately, because of the current economic climate and because the way that, the beverage industry or the alcohol industry, I don't know what you'd call it, gets battered for tax because we get very heavily taxed in the UK. And the beer is one of them that gets the most heavily taxed. So a lot of breweries have kind of shut down. There was one called Top Rope, which I used to, when I had the beer stall, I used to go there quite a lot. They had a really good mango called Papa Roach Mango, I think. They were all based, Top Rope was all based on wrestling. And theirs was really good. They had an ice cream mango as well. But there's a Chapter Brewing as well, which was just not far from my house. That went, because it's just so expensive. And yeah, people weren't buying it, so that's the way it goes, isn't it? But yeah, let us know and a Saturday night as well, what would you normally do on a Saturday? Normally I'd be in a pub on a Saturday afternoon, but because we're going to this party tonight, Jen's meeting me later on, I thought I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to have a couple of drinks in the afternoon, let you, all of my 434 subscribers, which I have now, which is pretty good, because a couple months ago I had about 100 odd, but since I've done a video with Yorkshire Lee, and I've been putting more content out through going to Benidorm and stuff like that, I've had more followers. I'd love to get to 1,000. I've got a long way to go, but you know, I want to become a YouTuber. I want to start putting more content out there. So the more videos that I can do, the more followers I've got, I can start getting a little bit of money off YouTube that I'll pay for different trips. I'm not begging you, but yeah, if you could consider giving us a little follow and subscribing us and liking, that would be great. So yeah, this is beer number 2 out of the 3 that I'm going to try on this video. Tiny Rebel, Ready Steady Mango, Gladiators ready. That made no sense. Actually, it smells quite like toffee-ish, really. I don't know where that's come from. But anyway, another belter. One more to go before I go out. So actually, while I'm on here and I've had a bev, if you are still watching, then thank you so much. Please give it a little like and all of that. So one of the reasons I love YouTube so much, you know, YouTube is more popular now than Netflix, is, for me anyway, it's just, there's loads of positive stuff on there, because the world at the moment, especially, you've turned the news on, it's bad news. Put social media on, they're always pumping out bad news stories, everyone's commenting on it. Even if you put a good news story out, there's nasty people putting horrible comments on. And now on YouTube, I haven't had any yet, really. I've had a couple, but you get the odd troll and stuff like that. But the vast majority, especially the content that I follow, there are one or two people that just focus on the negative side of life. And life is too short, mate. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much horrible stuff going on in the world. And it is grim. But maybe I'm out of order. Because I shared a video, I saw a video the other day, and someone was saying if you don't do anything about a particular... In fact, it was some racist fella living in Spain telling people in Britain, if you don't stand up and fight outside these immigrant hotels, then we're all traitors. But he lived in Spain. I mean, what on earth is all that about? Get over here and do something about it yourself if you're going to. Do you know what I mean? It's like these... Again, it's not a political channel, but... So, yeah, there's so much positivity that I'm looking... There's one now I'm going to watch in a minute called The Chatter Guys. They're nice guys. The Green Team, the Matt Master, although he does say some iffy things about Scousers, but it's all for content in it. Rate My Takeaway, Gary Eats, Justino, Yorkshire Lee's my favourite at the moment, and By the Care as well. Just people enjoying themselves and having a good time, and it's a nice escape from all the misery that's going on in the world. You've just got to try and enjoy yourself. Life is very, very short, as you'll see. Well, you can see from me on previous vlogs. I'm a Liverpool fan, and we saw what happened early this summer with Diogo Jota, what happened then. That is a man who's pretty much on top of the world. Premier League champion, UEFA Nations League champion, just got married, 3 beautiful kids, beautiful wife, and just like that. So life is too short to be negative all the time. I've had a few, I had someone have a go at me on social media this week saying they don't do anything for charity. Just being negative. It's like, well, he's talking rubbish, so I deleted him. Somebody else a few weeks ago had a go at me for going to Benidorm. I was like, mate, life is short and precious. Why waste it being miserable, making negative comments? If you don't like what someone's doing, I don't like the fact, because it was basically because I went back to Benidorm for the second time in a weekend. I've been to, there's the 3rd time this year. Put a comment on saying that's, you're sad, get a life. Mate, you get the life, stroll past, you know. Like, you don't have to comment, you don't have to go to Benidorm if you don't want to. But yeah, so just to try and be positive is all I'm saying. Life can get you down at times. It's not easy. We all go through problems, but when you can, just be nice and be positive and have fun. That's why I love YouTube. That's why I love beer, and I love going out and having a good time, because you never know when it's going to stop. Do you know what I mean? I thought I was going to die the other week on a plane, actually. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, but I didn't. Obviously, well, I didn't survive. I might have had one, I don't know. My heart rate went to like 190 odd. I thought I was going to miss the plane. I don't know why I got stressed, because I wasn't bothered. I thought if I missed it, I'll just stay for another night. You don't go home the next day. I'm not asked. Anyway, yeah, just enjoy your life. That other little frame there, that contains coins to the value of £4.65, and it was the first amount of money I ever got paid from comedy. So back in like the late noughties, early 2010s, I don't know what you call it, that period actually, the teens or something, I don't know. My life was relatively in the doldrums. I wasn't ill or anything like that, but I had a job that I didn't like. I wasn't really good at. I was good at it, but I wasn't getting on with the people. I was pretty miserable. I was in a pretty bad state of mind, if I'm honest. I was desperate to work in the comedy world, and I wanted to be a writer. And I'd been doing stand-up for a year or two, but I was, anyway, up to my eyeballs in debt. I might do a video about that, actually, about my Edinburgh. I might try and recreate some of my Edinburgh shows. That's what it's about. But yeah, and I was desperate to just earn some kind of money from comedy. I've always been obsessed and loved comedy for as long as I can remember. I remember my early memories of watching Dad's Army when I must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the living room at home with my mum and dad and my nan and granddad and whatever. No, like we weren't like what they called that family in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever they we didn't all live together, just they were there. Anyway, yeah. So I always vowed that whenever if I got paid anything from comedy, the first amount of money that I got, I would keep and I would frame it, and it just happened to be £4.65 in change for a guy who's now a mate of mine, Lee Bennett, and that's how I got to meet Colin Manford, Jason Manford's brother, who's also a brilliant comedian, a nice guy. Met all his family just through that. So is this the video to go through this? Yeah, I've done videos on it before about how comedy changed my life. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say anything really, but if you're sticking with it, then fair play to you, is my life was in the doldrums. I needed to change it, and comedy was a way that I thought I could give it a go, and I did. That was my kind of release from it and my kind of rescue plan, and it worked because I got myself on the circuit, started doing well, started getting paid for it, made loads of amazing new mates, met loads of brilliant comedians, set up my own comedy nights, and now I'm a successful, award-winning. I'm pointing out, there's an award up there. I can't get the bloody gimbal to work to show it to you, but it'll just follow me around. Up there, you might be able to just see it underneath Jürgen Klopp there. To the right of Jürgen Klopp is my award for the best independent comedy club in the Northwest at the 2020 Northwest Comedy Awards. So, yeah. And now I'll just say it's an award-winning comedy night. I leave the 2020 bit out because nobody needs to know that, and it was 5 years ago. So, yeah, anyway, this is taking a bit of a turn, hasn't it? Anyway, Ready Steady Mango by Tiny Rebel is delicious. On to beer number 3 in a second. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the final of the 3 beers, and I have saved the biggest, the hardest hitting, and the toughest for last. This is the Tiny Rebel Colorway King, which is a double IPA, which is 7% volume, which is why I've saved it to last, because I'm not, although I do like a drink, I'm not particularly good when it comes to the high volume ones, so I don't tend to drink them, but, you know, I've ordered it, so I might as well sup it. So this one, it doesn't actually say what hops it's got in it, but what it says on the website, the Tiny Rebel website, it says the taste is of stone fruit and citrus. Yeah, it doesn't say stone. I'm just checking the commas there. Stone. Yeah, stone fruit, not stone fruit. Stone fruit and citrus. So probably got the citra hops that I mentioned earlier on. And it smells of lime, verbena. They spelled ribena wrong. And plum. So should be quite a depthy. I might have just made that word up. No, you can smell the lime. I don't know what verbena is, so I couldn't tell you if it smells of that or not. And plum. Don't really eat plums, so I don't know what they're like. Anyway, 7% alcohol, or ABV, which is pretty strong. Let's give it a go. Or 7.1%, don't forget the 0.1. That could be the bit that sends me over the edge later on. It's quite thicker, more full-bodied. I always wonder when people say that, you know, you get people talking about wine, it's full-bodied. What does that actually mean? But the way someone described it to me, I'd done a beer tasting course a few years ago before I set up the beer stall. It's like, imagine drinking a glass of water and then drinking a glass of milk. You can feel, you know, it's like a strange different feel in your mouth. You can feel there's something in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like thicker. It's like a milkshake, but that's got ice cream and cream in it, isn't it? But that's what they say about full bodied. So this one, has much more depth to it. As you can tell by looking at it, actually, it's quite thick. Well, you can't see through the bugger. That's it. That's the one. So yes, these glasses, by the way, are perfect for the 440ml cans. The Tiny Rebel glasses, well, they're pretty cool. If you look at if you watch the video from us in Cardiff, which is Stereophonics, there's a Tiny Rebel bar in Cardiff right opposite the footy stadium where the gig was on. That's where we went. Well, yeah, this is really good. Now, yeah, you can actually tell that this one's strong, which is a good thing. It can be harder to drink, but sometimes you get these really strong ones, and they just slide down really easily, and then it really is game over. So this is a double IPA. So the reason this is so strong is they put double, or they put more, not necessarily double, but they put more hops and malt into it, which is where when they ferment it, that's where the alcohol comes from. So they put double the amount of hops in. That's why it's double or almost double the strength. This is very nice. So the beers I've had today: Tiny Rebel Slip and Slide, which is the Citra and Mosaic hops. Then we had the Mango Ready Steady Mango, which was the Citra Mosaic and Simcoe hops, which is one with the mango in as well. And then finally the Colorway King, which I don't know what hops are in it. It doesn't say, unfortunately. I did have a quick look on Untapped. But this is the double IPA. All been very nice. If I was going to score them out of 10, Slip and Slide was very nice, but it's quite bitter, which is intentionally, but a nice refreshing hit to it when you first drank it, but quite bitter at the back, which is not really my jam, but it was nice. So I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. I am going to score the Ready Steady Mango. I think I've started too high there with 9 out of 10. Give it an 8 out of 10. And then the Ready Steady Mango, I'll give that a solid 9. That was good. Wouldn't quite be a 10 because you couldn't drink a lot of them. You'd only probably drink maybe 2 of them, then you'd switch to something else. And this one, it's very nice. A little bit too strong for me, alcohol-wise and flavour-wise. So I'm going to give this, guys, a nice solid 7. Sound like Danny from Rate My Takeaway. I mentioned him before. Get on to him. So yes, thank you for watching. Like I said, that is a tough one to drink, that. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Tell me what your favourite beers are. Tell me what your favourite bars are. And yeah, just give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and just try and be nice to people. Don't troll. Do you know what I mean? This is like, what's the point? You make yourself look like a bit of a tool. And your mum probably doesn't like you. Anyway, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.